Hello everybody, it's Bourbon Bill, and tonight, a very special episode. Tonight is a special night. We're doing one of my famous, the best of distillery drink-throughs of a distillery never before featured on this channel. It's Ben Holladay! Ben Holladay Distillery out of the great state of Missouri. So buckle up, because it's going to be a fun ride tonight. So, special shout out to Jordan Vanderland. Thank you, sir. Jordan made pretty much this whole episode possible. He sent all the samples and this fun bottle of their Ancient Cave collection. So look out. There's some more samples of just other than this one. So this is sweet. I gotta say, look at this awesome bottle though. It's like a little mini jug. It's a 375. Also, we're skipping ahead. This is 100 proof right here, right? 50% alcohol by volume. Look how dark that is for 100 proof. I'm getting too excited, getting ahead of myself. Thank you, Jordan. Also, thank you, Stephen Humma. He also sent a sample in of the majestic Bourbon Lore 18 barrel blend from Ben Holladay for 100 doll hairs. That's how much that bottle was. Is that the best one? Well, stick around and find out, because we're doing all of them. I mean, we're doing pretty much their full lineup tonight. Okay, we're going through all of them. If you haven't heard of Ben Holladay, no, it's not Doc Holliday's brother. This ain't a Wild West brand. Don't know who Ben Holladay is, but it is one of the oldest distilleries in Missouri. And I think they're back from the 1800s, and they're still on their original site of their distillery. Pretty cool, pretty cool. They are not sourcing. This is their own distillate. You know, aged, bottled, distilled, produced, all of it in Missouri. For those that like my shorter video formats, too bad, because it ain't going to be that tonight, because we got a lot to get through. I'm not going to try to dilly-dally too much on these. I'll try to throw a picture up of what the bottles would look like, in case you're in the market for them. First up is the Ben Holladay 7-year bib. The bib standing for not what your baby wears around its neck, but bottled in bond. Color, so obviously it's 100 proof, compute 50% alcohol by volume. She's a little light looking. For a 7-year bib, price on these bad boys is $60 hairs. That's MSRP here on the 7-year bib. Never tried it, how is it? Let's give it a nosing. It's just very caramely forward. Caramel, a little bit of brown sugar. Little bit of a fruit pop in there. I'm getting a little bit of a stone fruit pop. Very pleasing. Doesn't smell youthful. Don't know that I would expect a 7-year bib to smell youthful, but it doesn't. Not getting a lot of oak here though. It doesn't smell particularly old. You know, that's okay. I don't think it would be at 7. Let's take a sip. Dang, that's pretty good. That's pretty good stuff. Exactly what I smelled on the nose comes through on the palate. I get kind of a caramel forward note here. It's just caramel, brown sugar. The fruits come through kind of on the back end of the palate. And there's a little bit of a little baking spice kick there on the finish. And it's got a decently long finish. 60 doll hairs, how would I rate that? Pretty dang good. Now, does that beat a lot of stuff that is around that price point? I don't know, but it is a very good alternative. If you're looking for something new, doesn't drink youthful, 60 doll hairs, I'm not disappointed. Bourbon Bill is great on that. We're going to go with a B. With a B. I think there's some stuff that's a little bit cheaper that could beat it. But I think it represents a dang good value. Next up is a Ben Holladay 7-year single barrel 118.7 proof. Compute 59.35% alcohol by volume. It's just the 7-year bib ramped up with an additional 18.7 proof points on it. You're not going to tell because it's in the green glass here, but sample bottle wise, it's right here. She's a tad darker, which is what we would expect. You know, it's not watered down. I don't know what the price was. Jordan, go ahead and comment below. What was the price on this bad boy? I'm guessing maybe 70 doll hairs. Probably a little bit of a premium, we might say. All right, how does this smell at barrel proof? Oh, man. Now that's what Papa's talking about. That's what Bourbon Bill wants right here. So the fruit's now more pronounced. There's a deeper, richer caramel here and the brown sugar. So it's similar notes. The fruit's elevated and you know that caramel brown sugar note's gotten a little bit deeper, darker, and richer, as we say. And the barrel char note is now coming on the nose. There's like this barrel char note. Almost smells like a fruit cotton candy type of thing. Like, you know, like it's been charred a little bit. Like charred cotton candy, if that's a thing. Let's take a sip. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's good. Wow. Wow. Very thick on the mouthfeel. Just this delicious charry note is there. A lot of caramel. A lot of fruit up front. Intermixed very well. This is good. I would buy one of these for like mid $70 to $80 as a buy. I think this is an A rating. I'm giving this one an A. I really dig this one. I'm trying to pack a lot in here for you just for the value. How does that compare to something else? Here's a Blue Note juke joint, uncut, unfiltered. This one's 122.7, compute 61.35% alcohol by volume. In that $60-ish range. No age statement here though, so we don't know. Also a store pick. How does that compare to that store pick 7-year single barrel from Ben Holladay? Far stone fruitier, not as deep, dark, and rich as the Ben Holladay though. Wow, yeah, the Ben Holladay blows it out of the water on the nose. These are very good. So if you're a fan of the Blue Note juke joint, uncut, unfiltered store picks, you're like, hey, Bourbon Bill, they're bringing the fruit, they're bringing the caramel. They are. That Ben Holladay single barrel pick here at 7 years old is bringing more age, that char note, and just deeper, darker, richer flavors. The Ben Holladay is superior tonight. So that's just kind of a little comparison for you, quick there in the middle. How would that compare to little Wild Turkey Rare Breed? Is it better than Rare Breed Bourbon Quick episode? Right here in the middle. Never say I don't bring the value. Obviously 116.8, pretty dang close in terms of proof. Let's give it a nosing quick. Oh, there's that delicious Wild Turkey funk on here. It's got the caramel, the fruits. Little bit of oak coming through here, but this is got the Ben Holladay single barrel here. Oh, these are neck and neck. I mean, there's that charry note, but then there's like a little bit of the oak here. I'm really torn on these. Rare Breed down the hatch. Always forget how good Rare Breed is when you don't have it for a while. So much caramels, fruits, a little bit of oak in there, that Wild Turkey funk. That's pretty good. Alright, Ben Holladay single barrel here. Something so magical about this Ben Holladay. It does beat the Wild Turkey Rare Breed tonight. Not by a mile, but it's close. Now, it's fitting because up next is the Bourbon Lore 18 barrel blend, also at about 118 point something proof. So the proof is nearly identical, also a 7-year. So everyone's falling, this was $100, you know, the Bourbon Lore, it's so, the lore, I can't get it, you know, should I have gotten it? You know, the darling of many YouTube reviewers. But I just said what I said about that single barrel pick here. How's the Bourbon Lore 18 barrel blend compare? Very fruity on the nose, a lot of fruit on here. I'm getting like some cherry pie notes. Light cherry pie, a little bit of peaches. Like a pie crust note. I'm not necessarily getting that heavy caramel char though. No, there's like a vanilla char coming out of the single barrel. Alright. On the nose, I'm going to take that single barrel, but let's give the Bourbon Lore a sip. Oh, she's well put together on the palate though. Feels a little complex. I mean, it switches between fruit and caramel, fruit and caramel. It does have like a cherry, more of a cherry note than some of like the vanilla stone fruit type notes I was getting out of this. Let's go back to this. All right, after going back and forth, I'm still putting that 7-year single barrel pick above the Bourbon Lore. So the Bourbon Lore is very good. They're neck and neck, okay? So my point is this. The Bourbon Lore is very good. Is it worth $100 I'm going to say no. I don't think I'd pay $100 for that, to be honest. I think it's very good. I think it got a little overhyped. The price point's tough. If this was 70, absolutely A++ at the 70 range. It's not. The Bourbon Lore is not. I don't know how much that single barrel was, but to me, there are going to be 7-year single barrel picks and probably soon to be 8-year. They are releasing an 8-year this year in 2024. That might be better than that Bourbon Lore. So don't feel too upset if you missed out on that very limited release that sold out within, whatever, minutes, seconds online, whatever. You might be able to find a better single barrel than the 18 barrel blend. All right, now, up next, for all you fans, in the gold, it's going to be the soft red wheat Rickhouse proof, coming in at 59.95%. Alcohol by volume, compute, 119.9 proof. Boy, that was tough. Write it on there next time for me, Jordan. Come on. It's a little bit hotter. So they do make the soft red winter wheat or whatever it is. Soft red wheat. They do make the soft red wheat in like a bib at 100 proof, but this is a Rickhouse proof. Okay? Soft red wheat. They also make just a Rickhouse proof, like regular bourbon. But we try to store pick version in the green. But they do make just a regular Rickhouse proof that as well. And Rickhouse proof is just their way of saying barrel proof. If they're trying to stand out. It's Missouri. You can't blame them. All right, soft red wheat. Everyone says this is the one. Well, what do you know? It smells like a wheater. It's got that wheat funk to it. Little sugary sweet on the nose. It's like caramel with like confectioner sugar drizzled on top. That weedy funk. Let's take a sip. Oh, allow B. God, that's a sweet, delicious pour. Oh, that is velvety smooth. For all you wheated bourbon lovers, absolutely pick one of them bad boys up. Wow. I even got some oak on the back end of that. I was really digging that. It's kind of what I said. It's got the caramel wheated funk. It's very sweet. It's very viscous. That was dang good. Man. This would probably compare well to like, a good Maker's cask, Maker's 46 cask, somewhere in there, right? Probably Larceny Barrel Proof. Ah, heck, why not compare it? Larceny Barrel Proof. This is C922 at 126.6. The best Larceny Barrel Proof to ever be made. C922. A blend of 6 to 8 year old wheated bourbons, if you're not familiar with Larceny Barrel Proof. Gosh, there's such a deep, rich caramel and oak on this bad boy. Alright, here's our soft red wheat, Ben Holladay. Oh, gosh. I think I like the Larceny just a tad better, but they're closer than I like to admit. Take a sip of the Larceny. Oh, man. Just like nuttiness, caramel, oak, fruits. I mean, that is like the best Larceny they've ever done, but man, is that good. Alright, the soft red wheat. They're actually pretty close in terms of what they deliver, but the Larceny is a little bit better. Now, that's the best Larceny they've ever done, so to be honest, a lesser Larceny Barrel Proof, that Rickhouse Proof would be better. Larceny's now $65 a bottle, somewhere in there. You can probably get a bottle of the Rickhouse Proof for that $70 hair range. They're almost identical in terms of probably pricing. So that's a great alternative if you like Larceny Barrel Proof, but maybe you're not enthralled with a particular batch. You're like, nah, you know, or that's too hard to get. You can get these Rickhouse Proof soft wheats online, you know. So, all right, last of the conventional lineup for Ben Holladay is soft red single barrel wheat, first harvest, 63.25%. Alcohol by volume, compute, 126.5. Wow. Now that is almost the same proof as that Larceny. All right, here's the first harvest single barrel soft red wheat. Oh, man. Kind of the same flavors, but just amped up. Ooh, boy. All right. That compared to the Larceny is really close. It's pretty much neck and neck with the regular wheat on the nose. The nose doesn't come across a whole lot different than just the regular soft red Rickhouse down the hatch. Ooh, elevated flavors. Way viscous on the mouthfeel. Wow, really digging that one. That's closer to the Larceny. I still like Larceny C922 better, but that's very good. Wow, okay, so I'm not the biggest wheated bourbon fan. You know, if you didn't go watch my collection video, I have a lot of, I don't have a lot of wheated bourbons anymore, right? I have like the Maker's BEP, and I have that Larceny C922. That's it. I don't buy the other Larcenys really, but those really impressed me. The Ben Holladay. I would be very interested in them. So, out of that side, if you will, of the pie for the Ben Holladay that we've talked about so far, for me it's still that 7-year single barrel pick. It won tonight. Second place would probably be that single barrel pick of the soft red wheat. And then behind that would definitely be the soft red wheat Rickhouse Proof. And then behind that would probably be the Bourbon Lore. So the Bourbon Lore didn't win, it's probably tied with the soft red wheat Rickhouse Proof, to be honest. So it got third, arguably, in that pie. So, you know, what would I buy? I'd be looking for the cash strengths if I were you, and I'd be looking for I'd be looking for a store pick, to be honest. Store picks were both phenomenal tonight. So the Ben Holladay stuff's pretty dang good. I think worth the price. Not worth $100 hairs. Nothing tonight was worth $100 hairs. To me, it all fell in that $70 to maybe $80 hair range, but not more than that, okay? We have 3 other ones left of the Ben Holladay lineup. You thought, oh my gosh, how long is this going to go on, Bourbon Bill? I'm trying to educate you, so stay tuned. Well, it's now time to talk about the Ancient Cave Collection, or Ancient Cave Finished, Ancient Cave Collection, whatever you want to call it. These are fun little sucker bottles, okay? Love them. Love them. These are distillery only, so I think you have to go to the distillery to get these, unfortunately. We're going to start there. They are $3.75. They got a cute little cork in them. You know, I really dig the bottle. Definitely going to keep the bottle after it's gone. Thank you again, Jordan. Kind of gives you all the information on here, right? So this says in big bold letters, toasted, 50%, which means compute 100 proof. It says 370 ml size. You know, they're not trying to fool you. It says it right here on the label, right on the side. It says Ancient Cave Collection, but you got to go over here to like the side label to know which Ancient Cave you got. Okay, this is mash bill 1856 original, which is just their bourbon mash bill. Aged 7 years and 5 months. Okay. Finishing barrel, French oak, seasoned, heavy toast, char number 1. So this is a French oak, heavy toasted barrel with very little char, 7 year, 5 month. Now, on their website, what they say about the Ancient Cave Collection, it's a series of bourbon aged in experimental barrels, for a secondary finish. Each expression begins the aging process in new level 3 charred white oak barrels, which aged for at least 6 years in their regular rick house, B or C. At least 6. And then it goes to the cave for its finishing barrel. So, at least 6. This is 7 year, 5 month. We can guess that the French oak finish was a year and 5 months. That's a guess. Unless it was aged a little bit longer than 6, right? They're saying aged at least 6 in the regular warehouse. And then they slow down the aging by placing it in a cooler cave. Just like Maker's Mark Cellar Age does. You know, I'm not a fan of slowing aging down, but whatever. Once the barrels are of age, a select few are chosen from the first floor. So, all 6 years are on the first floor for these barrels. That's so, you know, they're probably lower in proof, right? We know the first floor doesn't gain in alcohol as much as the higher floors do. It is dumped and rebarreled in the experimental barrel with different taste profiles that come from the secondary finishes. The ancient cave is the oldest structure on site, dating back to 1837 at the distillery. There's 72 ricks to house barrels in the cave. Maintains a constant temperature of 60 degrees Fahrenheit in the cave. So, first up in the red is this French oak 7 year, 5 month, which I have the bottle of. Let's give it a nosing. And I gotta say, it is it's one of the darker ones up here, even among even among these barrel proof options. Let's give it a nosing. Golly, if that ain't one of the best noses up here. There's oak. There's a nice heavy char note that is exasperated most likely by the French oak. A spiciness coming from that French oak for here for sure. One of the best noses of the night. Is very reminiscent of our winner over here, the 7 year single barrel. But spicier with that French oak. Boy, it's nice. Got a little bit of mocha in here. There's like a chocolate note going on. Baking spices, cinnamon. A lot of caramel and this like char note. Let's take a sip. Oh, that's good. For 100 proof, it's a little spicy. It's really good. Wow. This is what I said. It's got like a chocolatey, spicy finish. Baking spice, chocolate finish. Fruits and some char and some caramel in the middle. Very good. I don't think it beats my winner tonight, the 7 year single barrel here. No, it doesn't beat that. It needs more proof to beat that. Don't proof them down to 100. Come on. That's really good. The French oak would have finished in the top part if I was doing them all, ranking them. I quit ranking them because I have to go back through all those again, and I can't be that drunk. It's Cinco de Ben Holladay night here in Bourbon Bill, so we got work the next day. All right, Ancient Cave is French oak's winning for me. Okay. All right, next up is the Ancient Cave Toasted American. So you guessed it, American oak, 100 proof. Don't know the exact age, but 7 year and give or take a few months. I think all the Ancient Caves are 100. I wish they'd do barrel proof, if you will, since they're doing 375s, but who am I to judge? Here's the American. Let's give it a nosing. Very like apricot, caramel, marshmallow heavy, which is what, I mean, if you've ever had the Maker's Wood finishing, right? Some are American, some are French. French oak is always kind of more chocolate spice. American's always more marshmallow, caramel, vanilla. That's the difference here. That's the difference here between these two. I gotta say, I dig the French oak more on the nose. American's very good, but it's got this like malty, peachy, vanilla, caramel thing going on. That it's good, but not as interesting as the French is much better. If you had to pick between those two, pick the French. That's just me. Unless you're a big fan of the American oak, you don't like French oak, but you'd be wrong. And last for the Ancient Cave collection, we have the Double Oaked 100 proof. I think this was a 7 year, 3 month. So just a good old double oak. Now, ironically enough, the color on this is not necessarily darker, which has me worried. Because we love our double oaks on this channel. And we like them deep, dark, and rich. We, the darker the better. And I worry that this isn't quite dark enough. if I'm being honest. So, let's give it a nosing. Wow. Okay, so this got like some strawberries on it. Some cherries. And like not enough oak. I'm not getting... it smells like a mix between the American and the French oak back there, to be honest with you. It's got a little bit of the spice, but then a little bit of vanilla thing going on. I mean, there's a little bit of oak there, but it's not blowing me away with this amount of oak, which it should for a double oaked. Let's take a sip. Okay. It's pretty good. I like it better than the American. It does add some extra oak. Doesn't go far enough in my opinion. I still think the French oak is the better option. The Ancient Cave French oak, killer. So, these are only distillery only. I'm sure you can try them at the distillery before you buy them. I would try them. Some are better than others. Okay, this French oak was the best one of the night. They've had other ones. These aren't the only three they've done. There's like Applewood Smoked and I think a couple others. But the French oak's a winner in my book. Place is high compared to the others. If you're going the other route, get yourself the Rickhouse proofs, right? Or the higher proofs. Those are the winners tonight. I think the soft red wheat is killer good. Even if you're not the biggest wheated fan. I mean, it's got the wheated funk note to it, but it's pretty good. It drinks like a better Larceny barrel proof batch, to be honest with you. Those are pretty close, honestly, in terms of their palate similarities. If you're not a wheated fan, you don't want to hear... I don't want to hear about wheat bourbon, Bill. Definitely get yourself a 7-plus-year-old Rickhouse proof. I would go with a pick, right? If you have palate you trust, if you can't find a pick, just get the regular Rickhouse proofs, 7-year or above. They're doing really good things. I think their juice is aged up to 8 years now in 2024. So, be on the lookout for that. That's going to be pretty killer. I think as they gain more age, they're only going to get better. And right now, they're doing really good stuff. So another good craft distillery to add to my list that's not putting out crap. And it just pisses me off when distilleries can't make stuff this good, okay? This isn't super old. It's not double-digit age, but it's killer good, no youth notes, plenty of flavor, decent price. Ain't no reason. There's no reason distilleries can't follow that format. So this now, I'll look for a bottle of this, most likely a higher proof offering, like I said. It will go in my collection of good craft distilleries, alongside Chattanooga, alongside Wilderness Trail. Those are my other good craft distilleries that are doing really good stuff at Young Peerless. It's in that ballpark. Peerless is expensive, but it's in the ballpark of the others in terms of price. It's killer good. Who knew this stuff came from Missouri? So if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Have a good evening, everybody.